Why not?
Great.
You know,
Absolutely.
So that's exactly
100%.
what I did. So get your son down to Lidl, mate.
That's a great idea. I think that I've been lacking in that recently in the department. Nick Offerman's autobiography / Ways to Live Your Life book, Without a Paddle. Sorry. What's the name of the book?
Paddle Your Own Canoe?
Paddle Your Own Canoe, there we go. Sorry. Without a Paddle is a funny comedy film. Paddle Your Own Canoe, sorry. He says that as a man, you should always have a decent stock of beer from which to enjoy. So just to delve, exactly, after a hard day's work. So you need to have a stock, and I've been letting that down. So I think I'll make a trip to Lidl. I'm going to restock the larder, the beer larder, and then all will be right with the world.
So next week when we're recording the podcast, I'm going to see these mountains of banked beer crowding up behind your shoulders.
Yeah, exactly. You'll not hear me from the clinking in the background. That's what you'll hear.
I love that smell, that brewery smell. Do you know when back in the day when pubs used to have carpets before everyone realised how disgusting it was? How much crap got into the carpet. Just that smell though, walking into a pub, even though it was rank, I loved it. I was like, this smells great.
It smells like home.
And in fact, I'm just going to do a shout out to a little Instagram account that I found.
Do it,
right? And this is a sort of, I've met this bloke, I think just once actually, but he's a boyfriend of a mate's girlfriend kind of thing. And I met him once at a wedding. And he started this, he's a bit of a writer, and he started this, not a bit of, sorry, he is a fully fledged writer. That was a massive diss, sorry mate, you are a massive writer. But he started this little thing called Bitter Pubs, right? So at Bitter Pubs on Instagram, well that's the handle or whatever. And it's basically like pictures of old-fashioned, like old school pubs, northern pubs, bitter pubs, right? And it's a bit of a play on the word bitter because it's obviously bitter like the ale, and then bitter like the sort of emotion. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So it's like he accompanies these pictures of these manky old pubs with like a sort of a little mini story that like twangs on the heartstrings, basically about lonely people in pubs, or people enjoying these pubs in the golden days and all these sort of things. It's a brand new Instagram account, so I don't know if it's got many followers yet, but like I'm following it like every day. He almost puts one out, and they're just so good, and I just recognize this style of pub even though I've not been there. And these little stories are like, they get me every time, mate. They're only like a little paragraph long sort of thing. But so yeah, shout out to that Bitter Pubs Instagram account. That's well worth a follow if you're into sort of old school stuff and booze.
Fantastic. Yes, definitely. Great shout out. I'm going to check that out as soon as we're finished here. That sounds awesome.
Yeah, mate. Pronto. So what are you drinking?
Okay, so today, this beer today has come at me by chance. So as I'm sure a lot of people during the lockdown have been doing, I've partaken in a few takeaways, a few Deliveroos.
Yeah, boy.
Just Eats, you name it. Last week, or this week, end of last week, we had, me and my missus, we had a Deliveroo. We had a Oaxaca Deliveroo.
Oh,
you've been to
yes.
Oaxaca?
Yeah, I love it. Good stuff.
Lovely little Mexican street food vibe.
Yeah.
And they gave me a free beer with my order.
Oh, fantastic.
So I'll be going back.
Yeah.
Doesn't take much. But that's... it's a low proof, very low proof, like almost non-alcoholic. It's basically non-alcoholic, 0.5%. So it is, I think it would be classed as a non-alcoholic beer.
Right.
So that did, when I saw the beer, I was very excited, and then my excitement was tampered somewhat by the alcohol level.
Great.
But it's called Lucky Saint, 0.5%, and it's unfiltered lager, apparently. Progressively crafted. Yeah,
what?
I'm not sure about
what the hell does that mean?
Yeah, I'm not keen on that.
Nope, not for me.
Yeah. So I'm very confused. It says unfiltered lager, and then it starts talking about a Pilsner, Bavarian spring water.
Right.
Yeah. I'm not sure. It's a confusing bottle, but it was free, so you can't really go wrong. And on the taste and the colour of it is...
looks like piss, if I'm honest.
Yeah, oh God, I wasn't going to say it, but it does look like a sample you'd send in...
to the clinic.
Yeah. and it's almost flat. And I poured it out maybe 5 minutes ago, so that's not ideal.
Did it go flat,
And
or was it a flat originally? Sorry.
it's gone flat. It started as a lagery bubbleness, and now it's gone flat. And it's got that old school, like, you know, back in the day, Beck's Blue wet dog taste.
Yep.
Of you know, an early adopter. So I feel like what they've done is they've got these beers in the fridge that they cannot shift.
Right.
Like, as hard as they try, and they've just decided to give one away free just to try and bring people back.
Well, fair play. Yeah.
Fair play to
him.
them. Yeah. It's not great. So, like you're saying, avoid. There's so many better. There's 10 better non-alcoholic beers that we've already named on the show, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Not this or Beck's Blue. Anything else but those two, and you should be all right.
Yeah, fantastic. Well, A for effort, Oaxaca. I like. It's the thought that counts, isn't it? God loves
Absolutely.
a trier.
Oh God, yeah, no. This, you know, let's give them some credit where it's due.
Nice. I feel like they've just tried to throw every cool beer word onto the label.
Honestly,
unfiltered, Pilsner, Bavaria, Lager. You know, just what's crafted, progressive.
Yeah, hops. There's hops on there. Don't you worry about that.
Yeah, brewed,
yeast,
local, craft,
malt.
Amazing.
Got literally everything.
Great stuff. A for effort.
Yeah, we'll give them it.
So, I wanted to bring up a meme. Okay, so we're all spending a lot of time on our phones, right?
Yep.
As we're all stuck at home. And there was a bit... I've read a lot recently about this meme of the four lads. Have you seen it?
Yeah.
The four boys that have gone out, like...
Yeah, the classic, like, chavvy sort of, like... I know, yeah.
So they're like they're preened and they're like done up to the nines, like proper going out lads, basically. Like they've got massive arms. To be fair, they look great. Like they're fit, you know. Like they've got like they've got sharp haircuts, tattoos, big guns. You know, the works. Like they're out on the pool, basically.
No point on leg day though, is there? There's no need for it.
Yeah,
just
don't waste
arms,
time.
all upper body.
There's no point increasing the size of your leg. Just decrease the size of your trouser.
Yeah.
To make the legs look bigger.
Yeah,
that's the method
100%.
Employed by these gentlemen, right? And to be fair, like shout out to these lads, they would crush me. Like, big time. Like, I'm not dissing them in any way, shape, or form. But they've sort of gone viral because everybody knows this sort of lad from their hometown or whatever that go out. They work hard during the week, save up a few quid, and go out on the lash on Friday, basically. But they've become a bit of a sensation, haven't they? Because like people have been taking the mick out of them and like putting other people's faces on it. And some of it's lighthearted, which is cool. But some of it's like just taking the mick, basically, out of these lads. And I read this article. I don't want to say controversial, but he's a sort of writer. I guess he's a bit right wing. His name's Brendan O'Neill. He writes for The Spectator and a website called Spiked. And I read this article he wrote today, basically saying it's essentially like racism, like taking the mick out of these lads. It's like classism almost, is what he's saying. He's like everyone piling in on these people. It's just basically taking the mick out of working class people, right? And it was quite an interesting article. And I thought, yeah, actually, you know, if it was like, I don't know, a group of Indian women or a group of black men or a group of like basically anyone else apart from working class white guys, I'd be like, actually, yeah, that is a bit like close to the bone. If you saw, you know, a minority group, four lads standing, and everyone was like laying into them, it'd be like, yeah, that's a bit. So I thought, yeah, fair enough. Maybe people don't appreciate. Basically, maybe if you're white and working class, everyone can do what they want to you, is what this guy was saying, or they think they can. So I just wanted to see, what do you think? Do you think he's delved into it a bit too deep and it's just a laugh, or do you think he's got a little point that people should take on board?
I think I didn't think about it like that, to be honest. So it's definitely making me think now. My gut reaction is I don't think you can compare it to racism, because I would equate it to more like taking the mick out of like punks, rockers, mods, because I don't think all working class white people act like they do, or dress like they do rather, and do what they do. I think it is a subsect of people, and there's quite a lot of people that do it. And I think they say, like, you nailed it. Like, we all know people like that. I think they're probably the exact age. They're probably similar age to us, maybe a slightly older.
Yeah. I think they're the same as us.
They must be the same age, right?
Yeah.
So I get where he's coming from, but I also think it's okay to take the mick out of... It should be okay to take the mick out of anyone. The only thing you can't take the mick out of, I don't think, is like just based on what people look like in terms of like skin colour. Because then you're making an assumption about an entire race of people based on what their skin colour is. However, what we're doing, we're not taking the mick out of them because they're white. We're taking the mick out of them because they're wearing polo shirts, skin-tight trousers. They've only worked out their biceps. None of them are smiling, which I cannot stand in a photo. If you're taking a photo, smile.
Yeah.
You're not cool. No one thinks you're cool for not wearing... sunglasses indoors and not smiling in photos are the worst things, and they annoy me more than most things in life.
Can I add something to that?
Yeah, please do.
I completely agree. Yeah, they're so annoying. However, the one that tops it off for me, the cherry on the cake, is it's usually two guys, and they're having a photo with each other. Again, not smiling, but they're pointing at the other one. Do you know what I mean? They're pointing at him like, you might... I think it started when somebody met somebody famous, and they were like, got a picture with them, and they pointed at them in the picture like, oh my God, I'm next to Jay-Z, or I'm next to whoever it is. Whereas people have just started doing it like with their mates. And now there's just like groups of lads just pointing at each other. And I'm like, what the hell are you doing? It looks so stupid. Stop pointing. We're looking at the picture. We can clearly see it's you anyway. You don't need to point to draw our attention to you. Sorry. Yeah,
I'm with you, mate. No. Let it off. Let it out, mate. Just, get it off your chest. Exactly. Those things just get to me, get to my core. So I have very little sympathy for these guys. I understand the idea of it, and sort of there is a message there, I think, of people maybe, like you say, like white working class people, and sort of lumping them in with. Well, let me rephrase this. So there is obviously a movement within racism or critical race theory, or whatever you want to call it, where you've got white people sort of lumping in this one big group of everyone's privileged because they're white, whereas actually you've got these working class or poorer white people that are really struggling, and are not the same as people who went to Eton or people who are CEOs of companies. There's a distinction to be made between those two groups of people, and it's not being made by a lot of other commentators, let's say. So there is a good message behind it, but I don't think I would. It's not a hill I would die on for these four. Like, it's just two guys taking themselves way too seriously, far too preemed. I think, God, I don't know. I'm just a bit of a cynical old man, and even just taking a photo for the sake of it annoys me a little bit, and especially without smiling, man. Come on, just pretend you're having fun in a photo. That's just what we do. Sorry, I'll stop there. My
goal now is this year's Blokes podcast, Blokes trip, is to get a picture standing next to you for no reason outside an all bar one in some country, just like not smiling, like gun show, maybe inside the club, sunglasses on, pointing at you. Like that's my goal this year.
Oh God, that's a good question though. It's made me think, and I might have a different opinion next week maybe, but that's just my gut reaction. But I think that's good luck with that.
I guess these articles are made for that very purpose, aren't they? They're made to make people think, oh, is it?
Yeah.
Is it on this, whereabouts does it sit on the line? And then we might say, like you've just said, actually, nah, I think we're all just having a bit of a laugh, to be honest. Absolutely fine. But I guess it's the process, isn't it, of like having a little bit of a think about it, and cool.
Mate, I've got a little bit of a story to share.
Oh, fantastic!
Right. A little bit of excitement throughout this lockdown period.
Oh, mate, I love a good tale, a good yarn. Mate, feel free to embellish away. I'll just believe
I will. I'll
believe whatever you tell me. I'm a good listener.
Let me set the scene. So I'm going to give you a bit of a background before. So in the weeks leading to this event, God, building this up way too much. I have been waking up later